let's just start about the inception of the show.
Inception of the show was me and Eric Abrams,
Yeah.
the director of all my stuff.
Yeah.
I was at his house on Thanksgiving, and I think I forget who was
How long
first.
ago? How many years
This was
ago?
2009.
Yeah.
I was telling him a mushroom story, and then he was telling me a mushroom story.
Yeah.
And then I think it was me first. Him saying, it doesn't matter. And then I was talking about a Nick Kroll mushroom story that I heard through Renazizi.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, and he was the assistant booker to Joel, who ran the Florida Improv. He'd taken over the main improv.
Okay.
And I was doing nothing in my career. I mean, it wasn't like I hadn't even had we're just Comedy Store guys, and Comedy Store was not what it is now. It was, agents wouldn't go there. It was a failure place, which looking back was such a gift for us so we could develop on our own.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby Lee was the most successful guy because he was making $5,000 a week.
You got me
Matt
my
TV.
first spot at the Comedy Store. Did you know that?
I remember meeting at the Hole.
No, at the potluck. I was like, hey, man, I'm coming in, and I don't know if there's a way to get up. You're like, yeah, I'm going to talk to them, and you got me up at the potluck. Legend.
So when anybody says, like, I met you at the Comedy Store once, I'm like, this could go one of two
No, I didn't
very
meet you
different
there.
ways.
You met at the Hole, I think.
At the Hole, yeah.
But I just messaged you.
You were
or
so
something
different
like,
at the Hole. You were like still finding yourself.
Of course, yeah.
And so it was like, you were a phony. You were this tough guy, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you were
Manhattan.
so cool. Yeah. Rep Manhattan, by the way. Fuck New York. Rep Manhattan.
Absolutely.
Number one borough. And
I've never heard anybody correct it to Manhattan. Brooklyn is way cooler to be.
That's my borough.
no, I started shouting. People are like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Manhattan. That's where I live.
Yes. But you're 100% right.
I think he died a long time ago. I'm from Manhattan. Fuck Brooklyn and you fucking
still holding on
white
to
guys
that.
with their top hats. Eat dicks.
No, but you're right. I was like really trying to figure out what I was on stage.
We were all at some point in college or whatever that we're like,
I
maybe I'll
was
try.
probably
Maybe I'll be
20
Fedora guy.
24, 25, maybe something like that. We were young.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, go on.
So I was doing nothing, and he was an assistant to a booker, and I was like, hey, dude, you have a side room that's not built up at the. It was kind of like the old Fat Black when Big J was hosting the fucking karaoke night.
Yeah.
They weren't really doing shows there.
Yeah.
And imagine then if I was like, hey, can I do it? So I was like, can we do a show of mushroom stories? Like, the place is dark most days.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, let's do that. Let me ask. And then he was like, okay. And we were like, let's change it to just psychedelic drug stories in general.
Yeah.
The lineup was one guy, I forget his name. Me and Pete Carboni told a story about our own mushroom trip.
Okay.
This guy, Dan Madonia, Steve Agee, who's like a good actor and writer, Mark Maron, and Joey Diaz.
Wow.
And 14 people were there. I mean, we could not get an audience. We didn't have any way. I didn't know anybody.
What room is this again?
The side room of the improv. They have now since built it up.
This is in Florida?
No. Joel from Florida had taken over all the improv.
Got it. So in the LA Improv, there was a side room.
Yeah.
Got it.
And Eric was the assistant booker, so we're like, okay. And you couldn't drink in there. There was no bar. You couldn't even bring your booze in from the other place.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a magical. I was like, I would do my story, then I'd bring somebody up, and I'd sit there and watch on the floor, and it was just like, it was so cool watching these guys tell real story. Joey Diaz going to like Led Zeppelin, I think, in like the 80s on Quaaludes. You know, Mark Maron getting like too much drugs on a Grateful Dead concert and thinking he's chewing gum and he thinks he's got a bloody mouth.
Yeah.
Just like it was just like all 14 people were like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so real. And we're like, let's do another one. And so then we started like changing topics every week. And then it built up.
Yeah.
Anyone who came, 18 people the next time, 20 people. And then eventually, comics wanted to do it. Eventually, the improv got mad at me. They're like, well, you had Bill Burr, Jim Jeffries, and Burt Kreischer in the side room?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, that's the room you gave me. What do you want me to not book a good show?
Yeah.
And then they moved me to the main room, and then we did it at Montreal, at the Comedy Festival.
Oh, wow.
And listen, I don't care, but I've never really gotten respected in this business. So they're like, you can do the midnight show. I'm like, you don't have midnight shows. And they're like, well, we don't really have space for you.
You get respect now. I think there was a time where you were maybe overlooked.
Yeah.
I think all comics go through that. But I would say that you're a respected comedian now.
Depends by who. Yeah.
I think
Comics respect me.
I definitely think that like Jew changed a lot of things. Now they hate you even more for it.
But dude, it was magical. We do like hooker stories and trouble with the law stories, roommate stories, and whatever. Everyone had them.
Yeah.
I remember the hooker stories one. It was like got uncomfortable for the crowd, and Eddie Pepitone kept like starting a story and then be like, "Why this topic, Ari? We're losing everybody." And then back to fucking some chick in the back of a truck. And then we did it in Montreal. Became the cool hangout. The midnight show at that tranny strip club became the cool hangout.
Yeah. What's the name of the strip club?
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra. Yeah.
And we did like 4 days in a row, and everybody. Russell Peters, I saw him at a UFC. I was like, "You want to do my show?" And he was like, "Okay." I'm like, "I'm trying to fill it up." It's like 80, and he was just like, "Bro, I'm Russell Peters, and it's Canada.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
It'll fill up." And I didn't realize what a favor he was doing.
Yeah.
It just became the coolest hangout, and we'd all drink there, and then like eventually Comedy Central was like, "Let's film some of these."
It's
Okay.
crazy to hear you had a hard time in the industry because I had a theory that you guys ran it.
Well, here's the problem. There's too many of us, so we don't all get our piece.
What, you know what's dope about this story?
I like the theory. The theory thing is awesome.
But
Yeah, we started doing it on TV and really exposed people, and I love YouTube too, giving people like a break.
you gotta help people, man.
Yeah.
So then it's
fun.
on Comedy Central, and then how does it get
So
stolen?
first on YouTube, and then they came in, whatever the executive was on the side, YouTube Comedy Central was like, "We want to keep these stories about 2 minutes." And we're like, "Actually, we're going like 20.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." I'm like, "This isn't a puppy video."
This is not happening yet?
Yeah, we named it This Is Not Happening. Actually, Steve Agee was like, "Hey, you need a name for this.
Yeah.
You can't just call it Ari's Storytelling Show.
Yeah.
If you want to keep doing these, you should brand it."
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, This Is Not Happening was a takeoff of some like painting, like "This Is Not a Pipe."
Oh yeah.
Magritte. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the those art.
He is too. He is.
He's trying to help.
I love that.
And so it's about like stuff existing, but that is not a pipe. It's paint on a canvas. And
Right.
these stories aren't actually happening now. They're
Yeah.
a rendition of what happened.
Something happened, yeah.
Whatever. It's goofy. But like, and then it just caught on. I remember Ralphie doing a story at the Improv going, "I haven't been nervous on stage in a long time."
So this is the thing about the story that I think makes it so special. It's like when the goal is the story, laughs are a bonus.
Yeah.
With stand-up, laughs are mandatory, right? It's
But then I was very clear. I don't want to go like the Moth. Moth is great.
Yeah, they
but
have
it's
to be
always
funny
like,
stories.
Yeah, Moth always ends with, "And that's not just the day I lost my watch. That's the day I lost my
dad."
innocence."
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Also some fire stories.
Yeah, I like the
fire.
Moth. I
If you
like
want to
that.
see a great one, Mike DiStefano.
Yeah.
Mike DiStefano. Mike DiStefano is like a legendary New York comedian. A lot of us just like looked up to him growing up. He passed, but he has a
nice
mock
guy.
that will fucking make you cry, laugh, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the goal of it, and I think it changes the perception of the audience because you're immediately going, "Hey, this is a thing that's really interesting to happen. Funny shit happens along the way, but I'm on board because the ends might be something crazy that I could never expect."
Yeah.
And then it's almost like in the way that like Sopranos is funny, even though it's not a comedy, and the laughs
the way
hit
they
you
talk.
harder. Because I'm not asking you to laugh. You're gonna, because this is what we do.
Also,
How
we're comics. We
communicate.
don't know how to not be. We
exactly.
make jokes in inopportune moments when we can't help it.
Yeah.
So then Reap mentioned it once. He did the show and he was like, after like 30 seconds with no laughs, I'm not used to it. I'm like, I better make a funny face or something.
Yeah.
Ralphie's story is about playing basketball in like 9th grade and Corliss Williamson was on another team and getting dunked on nuts in the face by a 9th grade Corliss Williamson.
I love it. I love it. It's so funny.
But like, we saw some amazing moments and like clean comics who could be like, "This isn't recorded. I'm going to tell you something like really dark." And like, this is great. Watching people who had characters drop their character. I loved watching them.
Didn't Carrot Top do one?
Carrot Top did one after.
Oh, that
I
was
gone.
after. Okay, yeah.
But also, I would be interested to see what he was going to do.
Anytime you bring someone out of genre, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are doing it.
We did it in Edinburgh. This guy called the pub landlord. He had a character where he was like the manager of a pub.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'll tell you a real story." And people were like, "I've never seen you."
Yeah.
And
That's
he was
cool.
also like, "I'm nervous to do this."
Yeah.
They're just fun. And it made me a way better comic to have to prep a new story. Because listen, I'm going first.
And you got to set the tone.
I got to set the tone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bury all of you.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And I'd have to sit there. I got an office one time. I got to start writing out the details of these stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you keep having to do like psychedelic trips to?
You got to create.
No, we changed topics. So it'd be like job stories. I'm like, well, what job have I had? And I know there must be, everyone has them. You just got to Big J's the best. Big J can take something that is not of note and make it a really
unbelievable
interesting story.
Yeah. He's a great storyteller.
He's like the best.
It's interesting because I always knew Jay as a storyteller, and I think a lot of people know him more now, maybe from crowd work.
Yeah.
But when I was coming up, he was just this magnificent storyteller, and he could always do stuff off the fly. He was always so witty. But that's kind of where people were sitting in the back of the room watching.
Late night at the Cellar,
At the
whatever.
Cellar,
back when the Cellar wasn't packed, and you're like Sunday night shows on the road.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it's half full. Like, checks getting dropped. You're like, all right, let me tell you about a time I did this.
Yeah.
But also, comics all have it. I was on the road with Rogan once, a long time ago. Went to a strip club.
Yeah, long time ago.
Did some,
long time ago.
some like dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Not real. We saw some chick just giving out hand jobs. Like it was her first week and didn't know she didn't have to. Just like in the room, And I'm like a young, just formerly religious Jew. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then my friend Tate's like, go take her into the other room. And I'm like, and then how do you do it? He's like, just take her hand and fucking spit on it and put it on your dick. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
That won't work. He goes, bro, I've just seen her give out 3 hand jobs. You don't have to treat her like a lady. And I'm okay. And then, so we talked about this the next day, and I think like West Palm or something, some Florida place. And we were talking about this. It's like, all right, come on stage. We're going to tell this story.
And you guys
told this story of me not realizing and taking her hand and licking it and putting it in my dick, and then hearing Take go, spit on, not licked. Oh, God. And I'm like, So like,
you licked so many dicks.
he was watching. He was like the semi-private room watching. Like,
She jerked off 3 dudes. Minimal. Tasted it.
We didn't get to the beginning of her shift.
Back at the Bolivian salt flats.
Burying my hand, burying my lips.
Bro.
Okay.
So these are like fun stuff that comics have. We live crazy too. We do stuff. We're like, let's do coke and go out.
Yeah.
We do stuff. Like, so it's like, tell these stories, and they're so fun. I love watching it. Yeah, so we did it on TV for a while, and then eventually, I don't know.
Can we go into that? Like, not to harp on it as a negative thing, but just to understand why we got here.
So I had a long time ago, an act teacher told me this. I go, if you're acting from a place, if you're telling about this horrible car accident, but the end result is you're telling how the nurse that took care of you became your wife.
Yeah.
And then you don't bemoan it. You go, all my bones are broken. Because you know where it's headed.
You got a wife. Yeah.
And then like, I didn't think I wanted to live. I want to commit suicide, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you know where it's going.
Yeah.
So at this point, like, I made my own show, so I'm fine.
And it's wildly successful, and it's very unique in that for years, Comedy Central and just any comedy platform has been trying to find a way to put on new talent. And every different iteration of the show kind of doesn't really work. There's always a version where they go, what if a comedian tells a joke, but we act out the sketch of the joke at the same time? And they always try it, it doesn't work. There's like here's the new talent. There was a thing called Premium Blend when we were younger, which was like a huge deal to get.
Never got it.
Didn't really, didn't mean either, but it doesn't really do anything. Bro.
I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad.
Even the Comedy Central half hours, like that was like the cream. It was that and HBO specials were like the cream of the crop when we were growing up.
Really.
And like sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. So there wasn't like a real way to like garner interest for young comedians. Like, a late night appearance was really big before our generation, but once you hit ours, it didn't really.
It wasn't a launching thing. It was just something to do.
And then you guys organically created the show where stories, not even from the big guys. The big guys are going to do well because they have a draw, but from people that you didn't know would fucking blow up. So we're talking about millions of views.
So there's two ones that really drive this home. So Comedy Central didn't understand what the internet was.
Right.
They just didn't understand it. It's fine, whatever. Oh, for the people at home. Comedy Central was a network on television. It came actually with every cable. Oh, cable, okay.
Yeah.
And they had a lot. They made South Park, The Daily Show. These were all this brand, Comedy Central. And they were the only place to do comedy.
That's
HBO would put a special every 3 months, and it was always old timers.
Yeah. It was your only way through as a comic when you really think about it. Like,
yeah, it was your only way through. You had to
getting
get
a
on there.
special
Yeah.
was just
from Comedy
massive.
Central.
Was huge.
Is
yeah.
this, you know?
And you wouldn't necessarily translate. Some
Right.
would, some wouldn't. But that was like the
Yeah.
only way through. And we'd all kind of wait around. They did maybe one a
Hoping
month.
to call on you.
That's it. Yeah.
So they didn't understand the internet. And I remember there was one season early on where they were really trying to get Rob Corddry. He's the bald guy from General Children's Hospital. Is that him? Am I thinking of the right guy? I am. Okay. And they were excited. He did a good story, and they could. Yep, that's him. Nice guy. Did a good story.
yeah.
So it was him and Joey Diaz on the same season.
Yeah.
And now this guy is a darling of the alt scene, and he's on TV.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz is just some criminal. And they didn't understand that. And when Joey Diaz got to 1 million views and Rob Corddry's at like 80,000, they were like,
What's going on here?
what do you mean? And I'm like, well, one, he's internet famous, Joey.
Yeah.
Two, he's a master storyteller.
Yes.
Like you just like listen to him, being on the road with him is so entertaining. And that's what comics do too. Back table to cellar.
Yeah.
Everywhere. We just tell them the time you went to Portugal and did that. Okay, and that's what those. Like Jeff Dye did one about stealing a jersey. We did this in basketball, intramural basketball. I told him, I'm like, dude, you got to do my show.
Yeah.
He was just talking before a game about stealing Mike Vanderjack's jersey from his bar
Right.
in Key West.
Right.
And then they're like, give him back the jersey. He goes, no. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, no. He goes, we'll arrest you. I'm like, then I'll burn your fucking All-Star jersey. He goes, I'm going to get some use out of it first. And he was like, fuck, hold this guy. So anyway, it was a Joey Diaz one. And then what was really significant was Ali Siddiq,
Yes.
Legend.
who was an unknown guy. I mean, unknown. I didn't know about him. And we were, I know diversity has like bad connotations now, but I would say there's a diversity of life more than just color. So if you take a rich black and a rich white, they're a lot closer than a rich white and a poor white. You know, a prison white. Owen, what's his name? Used to host Comic View.
Owen.
Gary Owen. Yeah.
Oh, Gary
He's
Owen.
way different than you.
Yes.
Different lifestyle.
Yeah.
He's closer to Ali Siddiq, you know,
Yeah.
than you know.
Yeah.
So he had a story, my favorite story of all time. So they told me, hey, he won a comedian's. So we're looking for like different diversity of experience.
Yeah.
They go, we know this guy. We go, okay, if you think he's good, let's have him. I just don't know him. And we did, so we did because we wanted to make sure there were good stories. So we did a bunch of TV bookings, and then we go, let's have extra internet-only bookings. We'll take the best of those stories and move them up to TV.
Love.
They can prove themselves later. Either way, they're getting an internet clip, which is better anyway. So we saved like 4 spots to move up, like getting relegated or getting like advanced. And he did one. By the second season, I was like, they were like, they wanted again at the second season, be like, let's do it. I'm like, no, guys, the guy's a master. He did a story about, it's just called Mexican Got on Boots.
Yeah.
And you should look it up because I don't want to ruin anything.
We referenced it here when he came on.
Really?
Yeah, as like a touch point for a lot of us to him, because a lot of us didn't know who he was until
Didn't
that.
know him.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't know what's going on. It's like, remember the first time you said 28 days later?
Yeah,
And like, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the character doesn't know what's going on. So it's pretty interesting. That's it. You're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
While he, in the story, is trying to figure out, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then got some little views. Nobody knew him. And then like a year later,
Cracked.
somebody on Reddit said, have you seen this? And that was the joy of the internet. A year later, 1 million views.
Yeah.
And it was for a guy like that has I don't have 5 minutes of Leno stuff,
Yeah.
but there's no place for me.
Yeah.
And him and Miss Pat, Jessa Reed, Big J,
Yeah.
Joey. I'm like, well, now there is a place.
Yeah.
And people started prepping stuff for it.
Yeah.
And it was like pretty great. I mean, it was like, yeah, Ali Siddiq is like, he's the pure.
He's out of here now.
Oh yeah.
He's out of here
Yeah.
now. Like he's prolific. He's
Yeah.
put out so many
he's
special. It's like
the
amazing.
most prolific comic in the world. I don't know about India. Maybe they have somebody.
But in terms of ability to just create.
At that high a level. So
Yeah.
he is what the show is.
Yeah.
Finding a guy like that.
Yeah.
And it was always great.
So how does it go wrong?
So I sold my special to a startup network streaming service and made my own special
Greed is what he's trying to say.
called Netflix.
Yeah.
And I was like, I
Already
think
got
I
greedy.
made my own special and I wanted by the way, less money.
I'm just teasing.
I just wanted people to see my special.
This is the double special.
Double special.
Okay.
Comedy Central didn't have the ability to put on a back-to-back side A, side B thing.
They're still locked into TV things, and
they go, we'll take one of them. Like it's not one and then another. It's a double special. It's like a double album. It's not 2 albums. So I sold it to them, and then Comedy Central lost their minds.
what was really interesting about this, and like
They lost their minds. And
this
it
is the
said,
thing I feel like
how
is-
dare you? We're gonna cut jobs and comedians if you don't give us your special. I'm like, no, you're not gonna blackmail me. I'm not the guy to force. I'll kill myself.
But they-
I'll end my career. I've done it 100 times.
But
Do what's not best for myself.
there's an important like wrinkle to the story, which is it's very common that these networks do what are called overall deals. Comedy Central's had overall deals for plenty of talent. The HBO did it. Netflix does it. Like this is a very common thing.
Let's lock you up.
They
Let's pay you enough to lock you up.
They didn't do that for Ari. Maybe he wouldn't have done it, but like there was never offered to him. So when you don't offer that, the cost of that is the talent has the ability to do their special somewhere else without punitive measures taken. If you don't want me to do that, it's very easy. If you believe in me as a creator, then lock me up for the long term.
Marilyn Rice was on 24, but they called her a recurring character on for 24 episodes a season. And then she got Little Miss Sunshine, and they're like, no, we're shooting. I'm like, I'm not a series regular.
You didn't make me. You decide not to pay me the money to keep
This
me.
is the risk.
This is the risk.
Yeah.
But to take it out on you, I think is very unfair. And
They saw me as an open micer who was lucky to have them. And I saw them as essentially, I'm bringing you the coolest show you've ever had. It's time to not view me like that.
Crazy. What is it about Comedy Central that makes comedians go away off the grid for mad long?
And that's where it was fun. So I left in 2017 to Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
I finished whatever, and I left for 4 or 5 months. Oh yeah, dude. I gotta talk to him about this.
Yeah.
And then came back and sold my special to Netflix, and then they lost their minds and it was over. And then
You gave them the option and they rejected. They said, we don't want both things. We don't want it the way you want it.
I go, no, I'm going to have a Netflix special. It'll help promote the TV show. They go, we don't see it that. We see it as our show is going to promote Netflix. And I'm like, oh, you guys, you've already lost.
Yeah, this is like end of an
You've already
empire where you don't realize it.
Yeah. So anyway, so then
they started doing nasty shit about like, if you don't come with us, we're going to cut the amount of episodes. Like they did things that wouldn't just punish you, it'd punish the people you were trying to put on.
Punish the
staff,
the crew who had been. I mean, I got these guys. There was a time where season 3 plus a couple digital seasons, and I was like, let me get the director and the producer. Let me get them some mushrooms for a job well done. And I talked to my mushroom guy, and he goes, I'm actually getting out of the business. So if you want some, take more. I'm like, how much do you have? He goes, I got pounds. And I was like, I'll take it all.
Oh boy, Ari, why would you?
And I gave everyone mushrooms, every comic. I gave every grip, every fucking cameraman. At some point, the safety lady, I would go up to her, I was like, hey, do you do mushrooms? She goes, I know what you're doing. I cannot see it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And everyone got mushrooms. Aaron Berg smuggled his home in a salad from Whole Foods because he was afraid of getting it back. Ali Sadiq didn't understand what I was giving him. And he goes, how did Ari know I'm a vegetarian? And he lost his mind in a hotel room and thought he became white.
No way.
Yeah, and he told the story about it later. But like, yeah. I'm sorry, Ali. I thought you knew what I was doing. Who just gives dried mushrooms?
Yeah, that is a peculiar gift.
Oh, it wasn't in a chocolate or anything. It was just a
No, these are not
caps of
baggies.
stems.
Who delivers broccoli in a baggie this big?
We weren't on mushrooms.
Right. That's
we weren't.
Also, what a good friend is Ollie that he was like, I'm going to try Ari's gift.
That's cool.
Also, yeah,
Like, they look disgusting.
Maybe they're high-end, like shiitake. Yeah. Anyway, there's my family, and they're going to cut their jobs.
You hear that, Bert? It wasn't just you.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just you or Big J.
There's a history of this. All right, guys, take a break.